What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another edition of the NBA Slate Starter podcast. I'm Eric, joined with my buddy Ryan as we break down Wednesday's, wait for it, 13-game NBA DFS slate on DraftKings, FanDuel, and our sponsor Yahoo. Lucky number 13. I was going to say, I don't know if the camera flips it.
I forget. So that's why.
It happens, Ryan. It happens. You know what also happens? 13. If we're going to go 33. This is the amount of fantasy points that no Minnesota Timberwolf put up in a winning effort in the Garden. Not a single one. Cat on DraftKings. Highest scorer. Problem is, I had 100% of this idiot. 32.75, and Kevon Looney is halfway there at less than half the cost. Ryan, I don't know if tonight's going to go well. Probably not. How's your night going?
I don't know. I think a lot of people forgot the Evan Fournier on a Tuesday night special. Evan Fournier tends to ball out on Tuesday nights. And
what?
Yeah.
Don't come here with that garbage. That is not okay. Tuesday night baller, Evan Fournier. Oh, the guy who cost me the $20,000 pick yesterday on FanDuel with his 13. I had the nuts with an Evan Fournier dud in the middle of it.
I'm just making that up. But Fournier does love himself the TNT national television game. It was on NBA TV. He did play, been stepping up. But ignoring that, he was the guy that the low-owned guy on the Knicks starters that played really well alongside Julius Randle. And then we'll see who comes out in the late night hammer. Is it going to be Kevon Looney, Steph Curry, or Jonathan Kuminga really rising up the ranks there in Golden State by the end of the night?
Yeah, the man freaking started and became infinity percent owned. I think people were already on him heavier than we expected. Just kind of, that's my gauge for the situation. And then once he was starting, I mean, he is beloved by the DFS contingency. I mean, also box score watchers. Told you people like box scores. And in blowout games, the man tends to do crazy things. But now that he's starting, maybe he doesn't get blowout run. He is a top 10 pick. He's their rookie top 10 pick, 7th pick, I believe, in the draft. Who did they get that pick from? Who did they get it from again?
The 7th pick? I think it was in the Minnesota.
Oh, it was for them because they sucked last year. I forgot. There's that. Oh, my God. What a difference a year makes. And also having just Steph Curry, Draymond Green, and Klay Thompson. That's useful. Also useful, you guys smashing the like button for us if you're watching us on YouTube, hitting subscribe, hitting the notification bell so you know when all this content here at Awesemo is going live. But leaving those 5-star reviews for us, I'm just going to selfishly, that's the right word, not selfishly ask for those 5-star reviews over on all of the different platforms. So it's not just Apple anymore, but also Spotify. 5-star reviews. Promise free rolls are coming soon. They're coming soon. We just randomly threw one out there during NBA Live before lock because apparently I can do that stuff now, Ryan. Apologize, but Terry said I could, so I did it. You ready to get into this? We have 13 games. We've saved time the last 2 nights. I think this one might take a hot second. You ready to get going, my buddy?
Yeah, we'll try to keep good pace. It's a 13-gamer. It should be fun, and more importantly, let's ride.
I think this is going to be a 2-hour show.
Oh, boy.
How would you feel about that?
I don't know. Bed's calling my name. I'll tell you that.
It is infinity o'clock over on your time. I mean, it's halfway through the second quarter year of that Golden State and Detroit game, if you want to call it that, because it's not really a game. Golden State's up 20 already.
I told my dad that the Pistons were going to lose by 50, and he's like, yeah, I can see that happening.
Should have just bet it. Honestly, there was a part of me that almost pulled the trigger on Detroit plus 15, but then I realized that would be the worst bet of all time. And then I could give that money to the poor. I could give that money to charity. I could give it to my friends. I could give them a cash donation. So many better things, or just setting it on fire.
Oh, there are so many other things you could have definitely done, but yeah, I've definitely had those moments where I've done some questionable decisions on the old DraftKings.com, FanDuel.com, and Yahoo Fantasy where I'm like, yeah, that money could have been better served elsewhere than been in play.
Oh, you mean maybe on the football games this weekend that I didn't bet and I went 6-0 against the spread? Yeah. God, just picked them and I'm such a dunce cap. Let's go to the guard spot on DK. James Harden, 11-6. You're looking at Kevin Durant being out for a while. I like that they priced him up instantly there. I think that's going to be nice. You have a $9,300 Kyrie Irving in that same situation. Now that we're seeing him in these road games start to play 38 minutes, that was good to see in that Cleveland loss there. He definitely got involved, came in assist away from the double-double, came 3 rebounds away from making that a triple-double. So 50 plus from Kyrie. I think he's definitely somebody you can invest in going forward at the card spot. LeBron James, probable per usual there, 11-3. Big tag there, but we'll get to that Indiana side because I think there's some intriguing stuff that could exist there. But I mean, you need everybody to be out again. We know Miles Turner is going to be out there at least. Luka Doncic, 10-8. Trae Young, 9,800. DeJounte Murray, 9,700 against OKC. That's always intriguing. Derek White ended up playing, though, and that was the worst thing ever. And I knew DeJounte Murray was going to fail then, and he did after I pivoted on to tons of him. Got absolutely Popovic'd, but such is life. I talked about Kyrie, Russell Westbrook, 9,300, Darius Garland, 9K. We have almost 10 dudes that are 9K above there. And then John Moran, 8,900 against a tough Milwaukee team, 8,700 LaMelo Ball. I mean, guard, top end, absolutely stacked. You're going to find whoever you want at low ownership at the top end here. Who are some of your favorites, Ryan?
Yeah, I mean, the top end's loaded. Like you said, there's Harden, there's LeBron, there's DeJounte Murray, Trae Young playing a Minnesota team that's coming off a back-to-back. There's Luka, there's Kyrie, there's Ja, there's Bradley Beal, there's Russ Westbrook. There's a ton of guys that you can bounce around from. But it's definitely I definitely enjoyed finding the low-owned guys in the situation. In a 13-game slate, James Harden is very nice. He could put up 80 in a Washington matchup. If he puts up 80, you're going to need him. But that's the type of ceiling performance you need on an 11-6 Harden to really pay off, I think, when there are guys like LeBron, $300 cheaper, his own teammate, $2,300 cheaper, and Kyrie. So I like going to Kyrie than Harden just because of the savings. You can do a lot on this type of slate. I do think the field will react the same way. John Morant taking on a potential Jrue Holiday defense. I want to shy away a little bit. That's how highly I think of Jrue Holiday's defense, even though he's going to be limited, but I'm a shy away. I like going to Bradley Beal in the Brooklyn matchup. I know it's not Bradley Beal running the point. Spencer Dinwiddie's there, but I still like Bradley Beal's upside in a Brooklyn matchup. And I think the Dallas team has gone under the radar. They're playing exceptionally well. I think they've gone 8-1 in the last 9 games or so. And it's on the back of Luka Doncic. He, like I said, he's playing himself into shape now. He's burning off all the hookah from the summer. So I think Luka, I like at 10-8. And he might be coming in a little bit lower owned. So I'm all about that price tag. In the mid-tier, Anthony Edwards has amazing upside against Atlanta. I like going there. But I do think you're going to want to spend down in some guard positions. 6,200 Derek White is pretty appealing in an OKC matchup. I prefer saving the 3,500 off of DeJounte Murray. Keep in mind of the minutes limit there. Pat Beverly continues to play a ton of minutes at 5,200. The next year, guys, potentially no Donovan Mitchell means it's Jordan Clarkson. So against Houston, 5,500. Jordan Clarkson is very appealing to me. And sub 4K guys are guys like DeAnthony Melton. Bones Highland showed why he was a first-round pick the other night. But keep in mind, there are so many great options across the board there. And I mean, if I didn't mention a name, they're just not sticking out to me, but that could definitely change throughout the day.
There's going to be a ton of injury news, tons. Use Fantasy Cruncher group by value. You will see instantly, looking at the value, the top end of the board, just how loaded it should be for a Stars and Scrubs slate. Every position will have value. That's what happens on a 13-gamer. DK, as good as aggressive as they've been with some of the pricing lately, where it hasn't been super advantageous to Stars and Scrubs it out, because they've priced certain guys up quite a bit. It's going to be Stars and Scrubs tomorrow. And the mid-range, you could probably get a balanced lineup of all 5.5 to 6x players or better throughout your entire lineup. That's just the kind of slate a 13-gamer is. But on the top end, you're always paying up for upside. I'm with you. I think Kyrie Irving's the priority between him and Harden. 2,300 is a drastic difference. Even on a Stars and Scrubs slate, you're still getting that ceiling of Kyrie at a discount. Same thing with all those guards in that entire range. I mean, it is just freaking loaded. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander didn't bring him up 8,400 against San Antonio. I mean, we've seen some really, really large upsides there from him of late. Cade Cunningham, 7,300. It's gone down another $200 on a back-to-back, but playing Sacramento, that cures all ills for the most part. So this entire Detroit situation, even if everybody's active there, he's probably the one guy. I think he's probably going to get this second half off partially. I mean, they are just getting the doors blown off of them. 20-point ball game, as I said. So just be on the lookout. It's going to be very, very star-studded, no doubt about it. And also, you shouldn't, like, this is one of those slates where I'll be on live before lock, and people are going to ask me about guys that I'm literally going to have zero interest in that are going to look okay, but you're just not going to roster like a 4 or 5K guy that can't go for 40. You're just not. So be aware of that. I'm going to be extra snarky. You have anything?
Yeah, on a 13-game slate, I used to be a one-lineup player for many, many years. I would always be like, okay, can this guy get me 40 to 50? And if you can say every single player, barring any 3 to 4K extreme value, where you don't need 40 to 50, you still would need 30 to 40 points from those type of guys. If you can click those off, if you can check those boxes off, your lineup's going to be pretty solid. And there are so many different ways to get unique based off that situation.
Yeah, because people talk about 6X. Well, 6X on 4K is not going to be good enough tomorrow. It's just not.
Today, 2.5X might be good enough. That's how.
Yep, exactly.
And that's
Karl Anthony Towns, please.
And you got to keep in mind, every slate is a different case. It's a different case night in, night out. And no two cases are the same. No two slates are the same. So you got to keep that in mind. And I think those type of decision points will pay off over the long run.
At least I have Isaiah Stewart. He's now got more fantasy points than Kevon Looney, which I don't know is good or bad, but I'm way over the field on Isaiah Stewart at least. So that's cool. FanDuel, power forward eligible, useful. All you box score watchers playing Trey Lyles. I'm looking at you. Shame. He was a fine play. He's probably going to beat him anyway. Let's go over to FanDuel. Luka Doncic, 10-8. DeJounte Murray, 10K. Again, we're going to just list a million dudes. James Harden with his lovely, and I do mean lovely, shooting guard, small forward eligibility on FanDuel at 10-6. Much more useful, much more intriguing to me over on the blue site. Trae Young, 9,600. You talked about against a Minnesota matchup on a back-to-back. John Moran, $9,100. You said Drew Holiday defense. He's still, he's John Moran. I feel pretty okay with it still. I'll probably take some shots, but probably not going to be owned whatsoever. You got Shea priced up to 9K over there. No thanks. Kyrie Irving, 8,900 really sticks out as well. So, I mean, him and Harden, I expect to be two guys that you can play together. I will ask you this. Do you have any problem rostering both James Harden and Kyrie together? Because I get asked that question 50 million times a day.
No, it's
same.
There's a salary, right? There's a salary. So I have no issues doing that. And they both can pop off for 50 plus each in a Washington matchup. Yeah, definitely. That's fine. I have no issues doing so. Some people on 13 game slates, they usually some people cap off like 2 players per team. I have no issues I've done crazier things than that. So I have no issues playing both Harden and
like what, Ryan?
Kyrie Irving.
Yeah, no.
we shouldn't get into that. But talking about the guard position there, I mean, Harden, Kyrie are fantastic plays. It's going to force guys like DeJounte Murray and Luka to be very low owned just because of their price tag. Both those guys just project greater on a point per dollar basis, just outright. Bradley Beal, 9K, I do think will be very low owned, but the matchup is pretty great. I prefer him than Shea. But if you want to spend down a little bit more, Westbrook. $7,500.
I know, dude. It is so hard. It's so hard. I saw a tweet from Gundacker. I should probably go back and like it because I love my boy Gundacker. But he tweeted out, can't wait to just roster a 6K Russell Westbrook in about a month. And I'm like, oh God. Like, that's legitimately where we're at. He self-destructed Gobert. Congratulations on that. One of the better posters I've seen all year long. I mean, that is like world class. You want to frame that and put that up somewhere, Russell Westbrook, but also get better at real life basketball.
Yeah, and it's unfortunate. The guy is one of the I've been fortunate to see a lot of basketball games live. He's by far one of the best players I've seen just live. Because
Blake Griffin is the top guy for me. But back in the day,
the electric speed and the elusiveness that he has is insane in a live setting. Obviously, it's a very erratic play that comes with it, but it's unfortunate that he's come down like this. And there are ways I don't think it's too late for him to adapt, but he has to just figure it out. I think he needs to get whooped by LeBron a little bit, but we'll see how that pans out. But I do think there's a lot of mid-tier options that definitely stick out. I do think a Cade Cunningham at 6K is going to be very popular in a Sacramento matchup.
Yeah. Stop this, FanDuel. He was like Tomorrow there's more paths to not play it, but that probably is a reason to just play it anyway, right?
He was pretty popular today, and there's a chance
it's a 2-gamer, 13-gamer, but he will be still 35, 40% tomorrow?
Yeah, I think so too. And that's a key decision point on the slate. I don't mind going to him, or even if you want to go above the field. Other guys that stick out around the price range are Conley and Clarkson in a matchup versus Houston. Both are great plays, in my opinion. Even Joe Ingles, 3,700 is going to force into more minutes. But that's the spend down options there. And that other side of the Detroit game, De'Aaron Fox is also 8K. Fox has shown better signs of late. Obviously, playing Houston 2 games in a row will help. He did get ejected in one of those games, if I'm not mistaken. So keep in mind of that situation. But spending up, guys like Harden, the Brooklyn guys are fine, and spending down to Cade, Conley, Ingles, and Clarkson make a lot of sense to me.
Last guy to shout out, De'Aaron Fox, 8K there. Going up against team, he got ejected, which was really bad for me the other night. I will go right back to the well. Going up against Detroit, this lowly Detroit team. No Tyrese Halliburton. He's still in COVID protocol. So, there's that. Even Davion Mitchell. I mean, we saw 27 minutes. That could have been much higher against Houston. I'm not sure what to think about him. At 4,800, that looks less appealing, but this is definitely one of those slates where I might try to back end some lineups and have some lineups on ice, waiting to see what news breaks throughout the entire day. And then also, just shout out our boy Terrence Davis. Jesus Lord, a 4,400 shooting guard eligible there. So if he starts again, I am going to have just a crazy amount of that guy again. That's what happens when you lock button a guy and it goes well, is you just get crazy irrational, and then he doesn't do it the next day. You got to not be partial, but I am partial to Terrence Davis. To Yahoo we go. Where did it go? There it is. Cool. Stalling. James Harden, $51. Luka Doncic, $50. DeJounte Murray, $46. Trae Young, $45. You got to pay for nice things on Yahoo. Drink if you've heard that before. Bradley Beal, $40. Fred VanVleet, $39. Ja, $39. LaMelo Ball. Russell Westbrook, $36. Weird to say, not the best place to go play him now. Go play him on FanDuel. But looking at De'Aaron Fox, $32. That's the first guy that really sticks out for me. Anthony Simon's less appealing now, obviously, with CJ McCollum back in town here. Kyle Lowry is going to be out here for Miami, and I think that always makes you kind of know what to do there. But I will say Gabe Vincent ended up getting the start there. You got to be selective with these guys. But, I played 27 minutes. I don't really know. You can't play guys like this. That's what I'm getting at, is you just can't find a path to try to get different in that kind of a way, because he can't put up 40. And I need a guy who can play 30-plus minutes at even $16 and can put up 40, and I just don't see it from him. Bones Highland, last guy, shout out, as you had said. 46, 21.9, playing well over 30 minutes here in this spot. He is $12. Davion Mitchell, $13, who looks really, really good over there. Probably my favorite site to go play him. What sticks out to you on Yahoo?
Yeah, Yahoo's there should be enough to just spend out for James Harden at $51. He definitely sticks out to me. His teammate, $35, Kyrie Irving. I am all about it. Pivoting to Luka makes a lot of sense as well. Off of Harden, just as of an ownership play, but Luka has definitely the upside down score Harden. No questions about that. Russ Westbrook also 35. Look, you just want to be on the game where he's just like, okay, I'm going to chase my trip dub. I'm going to do what I need to do. And obviously spending down to the Houston guys with potentially no Donovan Mitchell makes a lot of sense for me. Clarkson, only $17. Love that price tag for him. And also, I don't mind sprinkling in some Conley. I do prefer Clarkson to Conley. I just think Clarkson can shoot the ball 25 times, while Conley he'll definitely get more of a usage uptick, but I just think Conley's going to just do Clarkson's just going to do what he can to check up his shots and keep the offense rolling. So I have no issues doing that. And don't be shocked if Clarkson isn't starting. That's kind of what Ingles enters the starting lineup. I'm completely fine with still rolling out Clarkson. So just keeping in mind the situation with Donovan Mitchell as he's in concussion protocol. Pretty big news over there. Now, outside of that, Yahoo's done a great job with the pricing. No one exceptionally stands out to me in the bottom tier. I don't think it's necessary outside of Ingles at $10 if you want to go there, because he's shooting guard eligible. Bones Highland is 12, but Clarkson's tough. It's really tough to go lower than him. Honestly, that's how I feel about the situation there.
Yeah, it's so fascinating. Maybe this is just me, but I can remember a lot of slates where it was Donovan Mitchell still playing, and then Clarkson would come in and be starting there. It's going to be fascinating have it be Mike Conley as the guy with no Donovan Mitchell out there and having him slot in there. Because normally it's, Mike Conley resting on a back-to-back, which he didn't do because they only played 23 minutes, and then he was able to play the back-to-back there. Can't believe the Lakers won that game. That was pretty impressive, actually. Shout out Laker Nation going completely bonkers, saying, "We back." You're not back. But what it means for me is that, maybe not the worst situation.
I don't want the Lakers faithful to poo-poo the Slate Starter, but Laker fans are great fans, so I'm going to take the opposite.
This is Yahoo. We got 1 free month of Awesemo Plus Platinum that you can sign up for. All you have to do is deposit $10 or more as a new user. You will get 1 free month of Awesemo Plus Platinum, not just NBA, but NFL as well. NHL is in full blast mode. They had a $100K to first $200 contest today over on the old DraftKings.com. I thought that was fascinating, but where a better spot to play your NHL volume is as well? Yahoo. Yahoo's got some great NHL contests. If you haven't had a chance to check them out, lowest rake across the entire industry, plus all of their NFL stuff. I can't tell you enough. Best site you can be playing on for your money, period. Sharpest pricing generally, too. They do a really, really good job of pricing up their studs. You have to really make some tough decisions. It's one of those things where you can find very interesting ways to get different. I know my friend Rayen Patnaik over there is pretty good at playing Yahoo, but guess what? He's not playing the NHL streets, right, Ryan?
No.
So go play some Yahoo NHL is what I'm getting at there. But also NBA, NFL, everything is phenomenal over there. I guarantee you'll have fun. Plus, $10 gets you a month of Awesemo Plus Platinum as a new user. That's $129 value. So stop guessing, start winning. Join Awesemo Plus through this promotion at Yahoo. And thank you so much to them for sponsoring the Slate Starter the Slate Starter podcast. I should be able to say what we're actually doing here. Sorry, I was just thinking in my head that Laker Nation is crazy. Did I show you that trade machine that my buddy sent me? Laker fan. Did I show you this? I'm going to send this to you while we're doing this. I'm going to do that as we talk about the forward spot. Top end of DraftKings. It's the dumbest thing I've ever seen. Giannis Antetokounmpo, $12,000 up there on the top end. Always intriguing. Memphis, if anybody's going to be competitive against Milwaukee at home, it's probably going to be the likes of Memphis here. They've been playing some really, really good basketball here. And Jaren Jackson Jr., I guess, is okay, which is nice, but Desmond Bane is not. That's going to open up some value. So just throwing it out there, as Kyle Anderson's going to be out here as well. So I guess the forward spot, Jaren Jackson Jr., 6,600, Brandon Clark, 5K. Both of those guys are going to be very intriguing on the other side of that game. LeBron, 11-3 over there. But then you have this flood of out guys, Durant, George, Leonard, Davis. They've been out forever. Domantas Sabonis, 10-1. So I kind of alluded to this a second ago. Domantas Sabonis in this late night hammer. I mean, Indiana is very shorthanded here at the big spots. Goga Bitadze had to play a little bit of basketball there for them, but no Miles Turner. The Brogdon news is going to matter a lot. That game starts at 10:30 p.m. Eastern time, and I would prefer that I didn't have Brogdon out there alongside LeVert and Sabonis if I'm going to pay $10K plus for him. But I thought that was really a surprising amount of run there for Goga. He played 25 minutes against the Clippers. I'm not sure if you watched that game. Played some minutes alongside Sabonis. All I know is that I think Sabonis could play 40 minutes in a competitive game here for Indiana. I mean, call me crazy, but I don't see Goga being a guy that they're going to have on the floor that much, especially if they want to go small. Maybe Dwight Howard starts, but I think it's just one piece of news, and it's one stud I think comes in a little bit under-owned on this slate. The Lakers, we know they play up in pace. They're not very good defensively. Domantas Sabonis, 10-1, my contrarian pay-up option at forward. Talk to me about it.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be contrarian. He's 10-1, and he's kind of like on its own. There's enough value to jam in a couple studs, so I don't mind it against the Lakers team, and he's going to be forced to kind of – ball should be going through him and LeVert. We'll see on the news with Brogdon, but I do think there's a 12K Giannis on the slate. The ceiling's there for Giannis. I know he was disappointing the other night. I do think a bounce back is in store for him, even with Jrue Holiday returning. It doesn't help Drew's going to be there, but it could definitely work out for Giannis. Giannis is just a stud among studs, but next tier guys, I do like Jason Tatum in a Charlotte matchup. I do think it's a great pace-up spot for Tatum and Brown. Jimmy Butler in a Portland team that they should handle pretty easily. I don't mind either. Now, next, looking down a little bit more, we still are going to get DeMar DeRozan with no Zach LaVine, and It's going to be interesting. It's a tough Cleveland matchup, so I'm going to shy away a little bit from him. I'd rather save a little bit and go to guys like Porzingis or Anthony Edwards. Both priced at 7,800, both have ceiling to hit 50, so I don't mind that whatsoever. Now, if you want to spend down a little bit, there's some pretty interesting value that you can take your chances on. I do think at $4,200 DeAndre Hunter is fine to go to. I don't mind going to Joe Ingles, $3,700. Outside of that, Tobias Harris, sub 7K. That is cheap for Tobias Harris. In an Orlando matchup, I will be willing to go above the field on him. And I don't know how much of the field will be. They've been kind of shying away from Tobias Harris at all sorts of price ranges. So I like taking my chances on Tobias Harris, definitely.
Did you see the Toronto Raptors rotation on Monday night? They played 6 guys.
The whole game?
So the whole game, well, 7. They played that Champagne dude. I don't know. Champagne. Champagne. How do you say it? I don't even know. Champagne.
It looks probably like champagne. Yeah.
Okay. Champagne in the membrane. It's not as cool as campaign. It doesn't sound as neat. But everybody, Anunoby, all 5 starters played 34-plus minutes, with Pascal playing 42 and Van Vliet playing 41. Boucher played 38 minutes off the bench. The only other dude who appeared in the game was Champagne. I just said I was going to say that. He played 9 minutes. We are talking about a Toronto team that doesn't play on Thursday night, so we're talking Wednesday. If they're going to play like 6 or 7 dudes, you have to have a ton of interest in trying to take shots on the likes of some of these dudes playing massive minutes, especially a Chris Boucher power forward eligibility. He's up to 7K, I guess, over on FanDuel. Let me go back to DK here. But Anunoby, 6,500. Barnes, 6,400. Boucher, 6,100. I mean, every single Toronto guy is in play for this slate. I don't see a reason that they would change that here. I mean, we're looking like a pretty clear-cut situation where that's kind of what they're planning to do here. Gary Trent news is going to be massive because Gary Trent would obviously play, but otherwise, I'm going to take shots on both of those dudes. Do you have a preference between Anunoby or Scotty Barnes or Boucher?
The lower owned guy, but I do think OG Anunoby will be the lower owned guy out of those guys, so it'll be Anunoby. All
right, cool. Just wanted to bring them up because that is a fascinating rotation as I was going through this afternoon. 6 guys. If they play like 9 tomorrow, I will never forgive myself because I would be playing mid-range dudes who have to go behind Pascal. We'll talk about him here in a second, of course. To the forward spot on FanDuel, Giannis 11.3, LeBron 11K. Kevin Durant out, obviously. James Harden, small forward eligible, 10.6. I love it so much. Jason Tatum, 9,800 here. Jimmy Butler, that'll be the guy. 9,100. I'm willing to go back to the well there. 9,400 Domantas Sabonis. That's a better tag to be paying for him there. Let me ask you about Kyle Kuzma. Is Kyle Kuzma Moses Malone?
No.
Okay, cool. Then we're never going to play in a million years at 8,800 Kyle Kuzma. I don't care what anybody says. I mean, I think you get Bradley Beal back in there, right? So, legitimately, if anybody rosters an 8,800 Kyle Kuzma, I bring shame upon your household. Talk to me about the forward spot, Ryan.
He isn't Moses Malone, but he is balling out. He is balling out, and he has earned every bit of this $8,800 price tag. You can't deny that.
I know. He played 29 minutes and put up a 50 spot.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know who this dude is.
Yeah, and the Lakers are looking at him like, damn, we could have used Kuz.
No shit.
But
look at this. But think of all the things the Lakers have done. Not to go back to Laker Nation. Oh, I need to send that to you, by the way. But you literally get rid of Caruso. You don't unload THT when you could have been getting a piece back there. And I like THT. I'm an Iowa State guy. I'm a homer. But legitimately, you could have gotten a piece last year that could maybe even help you into this year. You chose not to find any kind of perimeter defense. You got rid of Caruso. You let him walk for nothing to Chicago. Yeah, I mean, not for nothing. They paid him quite a bit. But Alex Caruso, more important than you would think. I've talked about his defense for years because he can guard a guy. You legitimately have these guys. You have to force LeBron to the 5 here because Dwight Howard is not as serviceable as what he was in Philadelphia last year. You have problems when it comes to just any kind of bench scoring because they're all volume dudes, but they just can't guard me. So what are you doing, Lakers fans? And Anthony Davis put on a bunch of muscle and he shouldn't have, but go ahead.
I definitely do think Kyle Kuzma is one of those players that LeBron just couldn't max out. LeBron's really good at getting the best out of his players, and Kuzma's definitely been one of them.
Agreed.
He couldn't really get the best out of Kuzma in his tenure there. That's how I felt. And also, Kuzma just obviously seems a lot more ball dominant to be the best version of himself.
The rebounding rate, the shift of media, like Kyle Kuzma did not handle LA very well.
Oh, I'm sure. I mean, going from Flint, Michigan to LA is quite the change. I'll tell you that.
How so? Better. There's a water joke there. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it.
Yeah, I didn't.
I've heard people do that on these streams before.
I haven't said anything about anything, but continuing on to the power forward position over there on FanDuel, it's the Utah guys yet again. I mean, it's Bogdanovich, it's Ingles. Both those guys are fine to go to. But spending up, Giannis 11-3. James Harden has small forward eligibility. I do think that's going to change his ownership on the slate. It's going to go up a bit more than in past times. I just think there's enough value to do so. DeRozan's 8,500. I think he's okay. I like both Tatum and Brown yet again in this situation. Other guys who have tournament winning upside, Middleton, with Drew potentially coming back, not as appealing as he was. I do think it hurts Drew more than it hurts Chris Middleton more than it does Giannis. Less ball handling duty for Chris Middleton. Just when Drew's back, it's just historically been like that. Now, other guys that you can take your chances on, I like Scotty Barnes. I know we touched on that Toronto situation. I need to look into that rotation deeply on why that happened. I'm not sure why. DeAndre Hunter and Danilo Gallinari are going to play some minutes, a significant amount of minutes now. There is no Capela there, so they're doing some interesting rotational run in Atlanta. I think those guys are good spend down options. No one really outside. Only one guy sticks out sub 4K. It's Joe Ingles, and I think naturally that's going to make him very popular on the slate tomorrow.
I think Gary Trent at 5K, if he does play, becomes an intriguing guy to take some shots on as well. Again, this is not the slate where I want to be playing a guy if he's going to be projected for 24, 26 minutes. So look for minutes limit. But I think if he plays, he's probably going to play his normal 30, 32. So like, I think that becomes appealing at that price point. Don't play Nicholas Batum. Do not be somebody who chases that 36 minutes, 47.5 from Nicholas Batum. You would have to be out of your mind, but I legitimately know somebody's going to try to be like, oh, Nicholas Batum tomorrow. Don't be that guy.
I have nothing else to really say in the small.
I have nothing else to say. Let's go to you.
Actually, hold on. I did a mistake. Did I do a mistake? Yeah, I have nothing else to say. I do think you can go over the field on. No, never mind. I was going to say Marcus Morris, but Aaron Gordon does a phenomenal job defending him where he's not that appealing on the price tag, even at $5,800.
Aaron Gordon, confirmed good defender. Let's head to forward over on Yahoo. Giannis 56, LeBron 55, Jason Tatum 42, Domantas Sabonis 41. Intriguing. Jimmy Butler 41. Intriguing. Also, all going to be contrarian. Miles Bridges. Don't be the guy who chases Miles Bridges 64 burger. Don't do it. I'm just going to keep saying this over and over again because I know these questions are coming in. I just know they are. I'm predicting them ahead of time. I can tell the future, Ryan. Not as well as I wish I could, because then I would just have all the money. But, whatever. I'm looking at the Yahoo slate, and you're going to have stars and scrubs. You're going to have the ability to pay up for some dudes. The mid-range doesn't look nearly as appealing as the top end. I think finding some cheapies to kind of combine with some of those top ceilings, it really looks like a place you want to go. Nicholas Batum's $14, I suppose, over on Yahoo. Maybe I can make a case for that, even after I just said that. Marvin Bagley's up to $14, but he's been playing over 30 minutes a game here. Came off of his best game by far here as a professional. So just kind of throwing it out there. Ended up not playing that game, I believe, what was it? Against the Rockets Sunday. That's right. He sat out that one. Chimezie Metu ended up playing in that one, 26 minutes. I have zero interest to go back to that. Again, these are thinner situations. We'll kind of have a pretty clear-cut idea of what the value is coming tomorrow. There's going to be a ton of news, but what sticks out to you right now, Ryan, on Yahoo?
Yeah, looking at Yahoo, I mean, sometimes forward ends up just being the spot to spend down. No one drastically sticks out to me. I think DeAndre Hunter is a fine option at $14. Bogdanovich at 19 seems a little expensive for him. I think there's a good job pricing him up. I don't mind firing some Rudy Gay at $12. He might get sprinkled on some extra minutes. in that situation. Quinn Snyder, when he does have a man down, he doesn't really expand the rotation anything. He just lets his like core guys run it. And it's a Houston team, and Quinn Snyder loves playing his guys in deeper blowouts, so that's kind of beneficial to roster Utah guys. We've seen the forwards in Brooklyn play a ton of minutes still. Guys like Kessler Edwards is $10. That's fine to sprinkle some in. You're just looking to spend down a little bit. Terrence Davis is you can fire at $13 definitely. TD3 at $13. No issues going there, but definitely should be enough value to spend up for the guys you listed off, guys like Tatum, guys like LeBron, Giannis. Those guys are expensive in LeBron and Giannis. The next tier guys seem a lot more feasible, like Tobias Harris at 28. Seems a pretty solid option, and Anthony Edwards at 32. Make a lot of sense to go there.
All right, let's head on over. Round this out over on DraftKings. We'll jump across the board at center, and we'll be out of here. Center is just loaded like you would expect it to be. Nikola Jokic is ceiling 12-4 sitting on the top end. Giannis obviously has center eligibility on TK. Joel Embiid's 11K. That's another massive ceiling going up against Orlando. He only played 29 minutes against Washington. They got the doors blown off of them. He needs some help here. Get rid of Ben Simmons. I would recommend you guys got that done. February 10th, deadline, less than a month away. Whoo, baby. It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun, Ryan.
Do you think Ben Simmons gets traded?
Yes, I do. Where do you think he goes? That's the question. Like, it's almost irrelevant because, like,
I don't think he gets traded. You
don't?
I think he gets traded in 2023, trade deadline.
Philadelphia would be insane not to unload him. He's never playing for them again.
Yeah, but
he's so stubborn about this.
Daryl Murray is even more stubborn to get a top 20 player in return.
I'm starting to think that Daryl Murray would be okay selling low on this guy. I think you'd be surprised because I don't think he expected Ben Simmons to dig his heels in as much as he did. Like, we haven't seen a stud. Like Kyrie Irving, obviously it's a vaccine situation, and in previous seasons,
I think there are two different situations. There are two.
Oh yeah, no, I'm saying that we haven't seen somebody stick their heels in on a stance like this and just decide not to get paid because that money's coming out of that account. Yeah. He's getting fined every single time he doesn't show up at the facility or play or do anything there. He went to the practice for 2 days, ends up throwing a temper tantrum and leaving. I got to be thinking that Ben Simmons, somebody wants him. I don't know how you wouldn't want Ben Simmons if you were a 5 through 8 seed in the East, in the West. If you can find a way to spin a couple of first rounders along with a top 40 player, I think you do it right now. And I think you'd be surprised. Daryl Morey, I'm pretty sure will have to sell low, or he's just going to eat it for 2 years.
He just might. I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see what happens. And there's going to be other guys who get traded that will shock you as well. Almost all trade rumors are fake. Almost all of them are. So we'll see which one actually ends up being true.
I'm piecing together what I think it'll be right now in my head, and I don't know. It could be weird. It could be really, really weird.
The one that makes the most sense for Philadelphia is getting CJ McCollum.
Yeah,
but that's been there forever, and I don't know if Portland even wants to do that. Who knows? I have no idea.
Portland should just start over with Simons and McCollum. Damian Lillard, obviously, he's not worth anything right now. He can't play basketball.
Well, Simons is bet on himself, and he seems like he might get paid. So,
we got a trade summary. Celtics got Bol, PJ Dozier. Spurs get Juancho Hernangomez, and the Nuggets get Bryn Forbes. So there you go. That's live breaking news that just came through. 3-team trade. Nuggets are getting the Spurs Bryn Forbes. The Celtics are getting Bol and PJ Dozier from the Nuggets, and the Spurs get Juancho Hernangomez. That does absolutely nothing for the slate.
This was pretty much Jokic had a pretty direct post-game comment at the end of the game the other night saying the whole league knows they can't shoot the ball, so they go get out Bryn Forbes.
That's a good call because Bryn Forbes was playing no minutes for the Spurs, but you kind of figure out why now, why he was out of the rotation randomly, because if you're talking trades with people, you don't want your guy to get hurt when they're Bryn Forbes, and Spurs getting Juancho Hernangomez. So that's going to be annoying. That's going to be really annoying.
Zach Collins is going to come back within. He's starting to practice in condition. Yeah. I've always liked Zach Collins, and I hope he.
Oh, I loved him in Portland.
I hope he gets a crack at it.
Me too. But Juancho Hernangomez, I said, this is not fun. Just throwing it out there. Keldon Johnson, no longer a thing. That is young. Will never play basketball for the Spurs.
Why are you worried about Juancho Hernangomez?
I'm not. I'm just saying that it's annoying. It's just like another nothing dude to have on the Spurs that, like I guess all we do is roster DeJounte Murray anyway and Jakob Poeltl. It doesn't affect those two.
Yeah, that's a good point.
And Derek White. But we'll eventually roster Derek White again. Starting Derek White. F you, Pop. But anyway, let's go back to center here. That was fun to have break. But Pascal Siakam was the guy I wanted to ask you about. Once again, I'm looking at this Toronto rotation. They played 6 dudes. They played 6 dudes. And Pascal Siakam has been out of his mind since coming back. Like, I think the word is absolutely out of his damn mind. 64.5, 54 over on DK. The assists are what's really jarring to me. Pascal Siakam out there creating in a really, really meaningful way. They are playing directly through him. And it's either, okay, Fred VanVleet pops open for the 3 and I'm going to give it to him. Or Pascal Siakam scores. It's a 2-man offense.
Yeah, and Siakam is a stud. He's an all-star player. Makes a lot of sense. And I don't have any issues going to Siakam at 9,100 there. But I've been paying up for Embiid of late. It's worked out. A blowout the other day didn't really. But Embiid 11K is pretty appealing. I like going to Embiid at 11K. Then Giannis at 12K. There's a Jokic guy against the Clippers team. He didn't play well against the Clippers last time. Played really well 2 games. The game that you were at against the Clippers team. Mm-hmm. Man, whenever he plays the Clippers, I always get interested in Zubac. Zubac was awful last time out. It's kind of in the doghouse now. So I would like to sprinkle in some Zubac on a 13-game slate because he gets going.
He played better against Indiana, but I mean they had Goga out on the floor, so he was able to play a little bit longer. But him and Jokic always have wars. It's really fun to watch. But yeah, he got pawned in that low-scoring game. That game was such an outlier, though, Ryan.
Yeah.
87-85. Like,
it was the Amir Coffey explosion game. But
oh, God. He's had a couple of those lately.
I know. And I think we can definitely go spend down a little bit. Onyeka Okongwu is fine at 4,600. I have no issues taking some chances there. Rashawn Holmes, if he plays, 4,400 is cheap. The minutes are weird there in Sacramento, so keep an eye on what's happening there. Outside of that, no one really appealing in the mid-tier sticks out to me. One of these guys that are going to pop. Is it going to be I do expect Robert Williams to return. Jakob Poeltl against OKC. Anyone against OKC has an upside. But outside of that, no one really sticks out to me. We might get some – I don't know. I think Cat will be low on $9,500 after he disappointed a lot of people today.
Rashawn Holmes, I don't know why he only played 15 minutes. Be on the lookout. It's just jarring to see him at 4,400. But the guy at the same price tag, 4,400, my precious Achua, $4,400, played massive minutes the last 2 games in absence of Gary Trent, which sounds weird that that's a 1-for-1 swap because they play different positions. But he's basically just played center. Pascal's played the 4. And yeah, he's played 39 and 37 minutes the last 2. I will take 36 plus minutes of Precious Achua at 4,400 and put him in the old pool. That's for sure. Other news, I know Clint Capela is going to be out again tomorrow. It's kind of interesting with John Collins there. It's a little less appealing to go with Okongwu, but you can definitely take that shot. So just less appealing on a massive slate like this. Nikola Jokic 11.5 over on FanDuel. Joel Embiid 10.5. Karl Anthony Towns 9,500. Vooch 92 center only there. Gobert 8,800 center only. Yusuf Nurkic $7,800. I'm going to be rostering that again over on FanDuel. That 60 spot. I mean, it was nice to be completely invested in that thing instead of JaVale McGee. That worked out well on that slate. Obviously, this is a different one here. 7,800 there. You have some ceilings to get up for even further there. Jakob Poeltl 6,800. Probably a little bit pricey for me over there. Watch the center for Orlando. Mo Bamba actually played pretty decently in the backup role. 20 minutes, 27.3. I would want to see him starting, of course, but Robin Lopez seems like he's going to be the guy starting there. Really kind of wonky to me, so just be on the lookout for it. What sticks out to you on center on FanDuel?
Yeah, center on FanDuel, I like going down a little bit. I don't mind sprinkling in some LaMarcus Aldridge, Okongwu. if I'm spending up, I do think Gobert at 8,800 in a Houston matchup, I like a lot. I like quite a bit. He might be like all things put together, my favorite center on FanDuel. Now, other guys, I mean, Bobby Portis is 6,300. He's gone up. It's a Memphis matchup. We've seen some floor games from him, but no issues there. Taking some chances with him. Now, other guys, Embiid 10-5. Ceiling is definitely there. I think Jokic, we're gonna get a low on Jokic on this slate. I honestly think he's gonna be pretty low owned. And that's going to be exciting. The best type of Jokic is the low-owned Jokic, and when he just erupts. And it's a Clippers team where he absolutely should have a really good game. So, and I just don't think the ownership is going to go there. I think a lot of people are going to prioritize either Harden or Kyrie or LeBron or Jokic because they'll see some value at the center position. He's just going to come in a little bit lower owned for the upside. So we'll see what how the news moves throughout the day. That's going to be an interesting decision point for sure.
Yeah, I think center on FanDuel, I might end up with just a lot of power forwards over there too. Bobby Portis is 6,300. You have so many of these guys. 6,600 now for Evan Mobley. I don't know what's going on with that a little bit as well. Played 33, 37 minutes. He's like rookie of the year front runner now. So we're kind of finding some situations where a lot of these power forward, this dual eligibility is going to come in handy. And then Al Horford, $5,100. Did I just see that Robert Williams is going to be back, though? Did I just see that?
I do think he's going to return tomorrow. I think it was the birth of a child, miss a game, baby. I'm not sure.
Congrats, Robert. RW3. Let's go. Al Horford, definitely don't roster him. Let's go over to Yahoo. Get out of here. I knew we would go long tonight. Ryan, thank you for burning the midnight oil with everybody here. You are a true trooper. Smash the like button for Rinpack. Just staying up late. Top 10 player in the world. He's grinding for you. Nikola Jokic, $56. Joel Embiid, $50. We've got Cat, $41. Pascal, $39. Gobert, $39. Nurk, $37. All these guys very, very expensive. It was nice to see Bam Adebayo playing basketball again. Played nearly 32 minutes. Problem is Jimmy Butler. Him and those two on the floor together. I definitely think Bam Adebayo takes more of the hit. No doubt about it for me. Moving down a little bit further, Kongu $17. It's a little bit expensive for me there. They did a really good job of pricing up a ton of these spots. Now, I know we're going to get somebody on this bottom end that shows up. I just don't know who that is yet to try to punt with here. But as it stands right now, $56 Jokic, probably the least appealing site for me to roster him. Maybe that makes him extra low on though, Ryan. Talk to me about center on Yahoo and round this out.
Yeah, he's going to be very low on Yahoo. I just think it's tough to go there when you get to save money on guys like Gobert, Karl-Anthony Towns, and Embiid. And obviously Jokic has that upside to just take everything down. There's some appealing spend-down options and guys like Jakob Poeltl. We saw Tom Bryant play really well in limited minutes. I'm avoiding the Washington front court situation. The three-man roto is really hard to pick and choose. I like Okongwu at 17. It's expensive, but I think the minutes should be there against Cat. I know it's annoying what they start Dang and Okongwu plays well, and now we've seen that happen a couple of times. Keep an eye on the Goga situation. Goga's $12. Outside of that, center kind of it's Gobert yet again. I really like Gobert's price tag. It makes a lot of sense for me to take my chances of Gobert in a Houston matchup. I have no issues going to him whatsoever. The block upside's great. Very prefer. Potentially, he might get some extra post ups with no Mitchell, just because of Mitchell not. The two-man game with there is not as effective without Mitchell. So it's going to be interesting to see how Gobert's ownership comes in. But I do really like him on tomorrow's slate.
Yep, I think Gobert. That's going to be a guy that we're going to roster quite a bit. I think on this slate, $39 for him too. Also, it's kind of an underrated fact, and I don't think it's probably gotten talked about enough. But with Noah Hassan Whiteside there, I think that there's going to be a game where there's just a ton of minutes upside here for him. And he played 37 there, but I'm saying we could see a 40-minute game. And I don't expect this one to be competitive, but he's been mid-40s pretty much as consistent as possible. The rebounding numbers are out of control. Like, look at some of the player props for Rudy Gobert. Head to oddshopper.com. Take a look at some of them because you will not believe the numbers that they're putting up for Rudy Gobert for rebounds. It is outrageous. Ryan, we got through this thing. 13 games. It was always going to take forever. You're a trooper. Any final words for the people?
No, thanks so much. If if you've made it this far, I really appreciate you guys tuning in for the Slate Starter as we break down almost an hour worth of NBA DFS. And obviously, we know a lot of things are moving parts, but hopefully this gets your feet wet for the slate as there's going to be content nonstop. Thanks so much yet again. 5 stars across the board would be great. Good luck, everybody.
Oh, you perfectly said. He's Ryan. He's going to go to bed. I'm Eric. I'm old. I'm probably going to go to bed too. 8:36 p.m. We'll see you guys later.